Mrs. Havisham, dragging regrets on the tattered ends of her dress. I steer between the buckets, emptying them, carrying my water, but I can't keep up. The sinks won't drain. They are stopped with my black hair. I scalped myself and left a braid in each sink. I am wrapped in a grief that threatens to take me back under, and no one has the patience to resuscitate me. Am I fulfilled?
Rivers rushed in after creeping up slowly over the course of the day. The creeks gushed and swelled. At first, I thought I was hallucinating again. The waters couldn't rise so fast without a proper warning from the Corps of Engineers. Certainly, they would have told us that the rivers were at capacity. I noticed the deer moving closer into my house, bedding in the forest around me and eating down my early roses. Certainly, it wasn't a hallucination when I saw those in a 500-year floodplain trying to boat their baby bed jewelry and quilts down the street. Our house was safe on the hill, overlooking the lake that had become a river, as it had been originally intended before they dammed it up not far from the mouth of Cumberland Cave. I pulled the canoe out of the basement. After tucking her doll underneath her chin, Maggie, who is Ellen's daughter, eagerly grasped the side of the canoe and tried to pull it toward the water. I didn't have to drag the canoe very far until I placed Maggie in it and started to paddle us away from our home and toward the winding rivers that had converged on the town. Navigating through a swampy area of trees, I wondered when the current would become too strong and if I had made a mistake. The sun pushed away from a cloud, but stood behind a dark blot on the trees in front of me. I squinted and realized I was paddling through the plum grove. I could easily pick the plums after studying us for a moment in the center, and Maggie scratched out her palm and I placed a bitter plum in her hand. My cousin Jordan and I had stopped making brandy from the family trees, and very few of them still produced good fruit. But we agreed that a force of nature would have to take them down. Neither Jordan nor I had the heart to have them.
Sailing the winds of Africa, I must stay connected to my heart in a way which keeps the fire blazing. No one knows which eye that I hold to the morning sunrise. It is that fire which will guide me to the western front of power. Where will I be without this dream of a land far from home? A land foreign to my body, but close to my spirit. A continent full of people living life, even on the brink of death. The communion of my destiny. Yet, I have pushed this dream aside to obsess about my lover, a man who has been my greatest secret, the man who has given me life and love, only to be denied by his own, by the delusions of a woman weaker than I truly am. I have pushed the limits of his life to the brink of gratification, only to be snatched back by his perpetual plea in my heart. His ceaseless trust and adoration of the woman he sees through discerning eyes, relight the brilliance in me. So, with fire rekindled after our poignant winter's freezing of soul, I will struggle with courage as I release my control of the helm and let the warm winds of Africa sail into the edge of the world, which awaits my coming, the world of dreams, with the man on the earth.
After concert, celebrate, reliving last 24 hours. Wave at all, friends still sinning. Arrived at the intended CVS, 3 blocks from the hotel. Who knew? One prescription, 2 CVS's, at least 20 miles, and 50 minutes later, George knocks on the hotel room door. Gosh, you were gone a long time. I thought it was just around the block. I'm lucky I still have my pants on. Huh? I'll tell you.
Red scarf, long and flowing, drapes her face, caresses her shoulders and arms, and under the scarf, a symmetric brown and gold box cap arcs, white and snow atop her head. Her hair, a field of gold, waving in folds, flows beneath the scarf, rests upon her neck and shoulders. Red scarf, golden hair, layers and layers of feminine spiritual countenance. Her face peaceful with pleasure, in the image of the Virgin Mary, the Mother Mary we all know, the image of the womb, the sacred place from which the Lord had first risen.
Somehow, I tore myself away and walked halfway to the checkout to bend my head. Even from half a story away, I heard the shoes whisper my name. And suddenly, a vision of a tall, handsome, muscular man in nicely fitted dark-dyed jeans and a vintage-styled hipster shirt burst into my head. This stunner of a man, worthy of a magazine cover and as yet unknown to me, was the perfect accessory for these shoes. I returned to the shoe rack. I snatched up the shoes. As I walked to the checkout, clutching the shoes to my bosom, I imagined the dates I would go on with the beautiful shoes and the handsome man I didn't happen to know yet. And I bought them. Here's the good part. They're men's shoes. Size 10. In my date fantasy, the handsome and charming imaginary prince is wearing the shoes. It will take a special guy to pull off wearing these shoes, and that's the guy I want. So now I have a pair of shoes, but there's no man in my real life yet who can fill them. But I have an idea, a quest, a reverse Cinderella type thing. I will find the man who fits the shoes. Granted, it will be kind of weird asking men I only recently met what size shoe they wear, and they might get a little creeped out when I pull out my pair of men's shoes and ask them to put them on and walk around with me. Sure, some might think I'm a total whack job, but think of the stories. I can chronicle my journey for the men to fill the shoes, and they can tell their buddies about the nutcase running around with men's shoes. Everybody wins, especially me when I find the right men to fill the shoes.
Betsy and I watched westerns under small black and white TVs. We argued about what to watch. Betsy liked raw hog. I was obsessed with wagon trains. Betsy and I would